Okay, so for tonight's video, we're going to be talking about mixed numbers and decimals. We've been working with regular fractions and turning those fractions into decimals, or understanding what fractions and decimals and how they relate to each other. And now we're going to do the same thing but with whole and mixed numbers. Okay, just to go over the hundreds chart. You know your houses, okay? It looks a little different on this, so I'll draw your houses in for you. Okay, there's one house. Oops. Here's your second house, and your third house would go over here. Okay. No different over here. You have your house here with your rooms. Okay, this is going to be your decimal house. Alright, so I have the tenth in the first room, which we kind of touched on the last time, hundreds in the second room, and thousands in the third room. So if I was to write a number such as 1 and 23 hundredths, okay, your 1 would go here, your 2, which is your tenths place, would go here, and your 3 would go there. Okay, doing another one. Say I had 4 and 56 hundredths. 4 would go here, 5 here, 6 here. Alright, number lines. Same thing would go on a number line. Okay, let's say I had my 0 here, I had my 1 here, and I had my 2 here. And I want to find the decimal of 1.5. Okay, 1.5. So I know that it's not going to be anywhere in this area, right? Because it's between 1 and 2. I know that this is between 1 and 2. So I'm going to find my midway point here, draw a line, and this is going to be my 1.5. Because I know that 5 is the halfway point between 1 and 2. Okay, let's say I wanted to find 1.2. Okay, well that I know is going to be somewhere in between 1 and 1/2. So right about here would be my 1.2. Same thing would go if I said 1.7. My 1.7 I know is in between my 1.5 and 0.2, which I'm going to put right about here. Alright, and this is what it would look like with base 10 blocks. Okay, so I have my base 10 blocks here. One of them is all covered, so I know that that is going to be my whole number. Then I have hundreds over here. If I was dealing with this in fractions, I would draw my little fraction there, and I have 3 hundredths. Knowing what I know from the previous lessons that we've done, 3 hundredths means 0.03 to me, 0.03. So putting these two things together, my decimal would then be 1.03. Okay, how about this one? I have one whole one here, one whole one here, and then I have a tens here, right? This is cut up into tens, so 2 tenths. And I know that that looks like 0.2. So now I got to add these things all together. So I have one whole one here, one whole one here, so that's 2 wholes. And then I have 0.2. Okay, that's how my fraction would look, or my mixed number would look in base 10. Here's another one. I got one here and one here. Then I have hundreds. Okay, I have 10, 20, 30, 41 hundredths done here. So I'm going to add these two together. I've got 2 whole ones, 41 hundredths, which looks like this. Easy peasy. Okay, let's try this last one. I have a whole one. I have tenths. Okay, I know that 1/10 looks like this in a decimal, so I should have 1.1. Okay, go ahead and do this one by yourself. Count how many whole ones you have filled. What would your fraction be for the the hundredths that is not filled? Convert that to a decimal, add it together. You can pause the video while you do that and come back. I'll have the answer for you. Okay, so here's 1, 2, 3 wholes. I have hundreds here, and I don't have a whole 10 covered up, so that should be 9 hundredths. Okay, And 900ths looks like this by decimal, so that should be my decimal. Alright, so here's some of your homework. Write an equivalent decimal and mixed number for each model. I think you guys can figure out the base 10 ones. You've been working with base 10s for most of your math career now, up to 4th grade. So I'm going to work with you on the number line. I have the number line right here, okay? I have 1 and 5/10, okay? So I have 1 whole, then I'm going to have a decimal, and 5/10 should look like what? Just 5. 5 in the tens house, or the tens room of the house. Okay, how about number 4? Write an equivalent mixed number or a decimal for each. Then write the word form. Word form is kind of hard if you remember writing word form. It shouldn't be very much more difficult, but I'll do it for you on number 4. Let's see, I have 3 and 900ths. So since it's already in a mixed number form, that means I'm going to write it into a decimal. So my decimal will be 3 since it's my whole number here. I need to make this skinnier. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to write 3 there, and then 90/100ths should look like this, 3.9. That didn't change hardly at all, the size of the pen. Okay, so there would be my decimal. Okay, so I should have 3 and 9, 90, right? So I should have a 0. 90/100ths. Okay, let's do another one. Let's start with the decimal one over here at number 7. So I have 2.09. So I know my whole number here is going to be the whole number for my mixed number. And then 900ths should look like this, 9/100. Or 0.9 if you don't want to get confused, 0.9/100. And how would I write that in word form? That would look like 2 and 900ths. Don't forget the THS at the end, otherwise it'll be 900ths, like 900. And that's not what you're trying to do. Alright, missing number, we'll do number 9 together. 3.80 is 3 plus 0.8 plus 0, right? Or 0.00, right? Because there's no hundreds here. Alright, and let's see. Harriet is thinking of a decimal that is equivalent, that means the same or equal to 8 and 1/5. So 8 and 1/5. What is that decimal? Number 12, a CD case measures 4 and 4/5 inches by 5 and 3/5 inches. What is the decimal point form of the measurement? So you're taking the fraction, which is 4 and 4/5 inches by 5 and 3/5 inches. And they want you to put that in a decimal form, okay? But in order to put it in decimal form, you've got to convert these fractions to tenths. And remember, to do that, you would go 5 goes into 10, how many times? 2. Then I'm going to go 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, do the same thing here. 5 goes into 10 how many times? 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. Now convert those to decimals. Alright, you guys are on your own for the other 2. Don't forget right here, number 14 says simplest form. Make sure that you have it in simplest form for that fraction. And you guys, WSQ. Write a paragraph explaining what you learned and finish practice book page. Have a good night, y'all. See you in the morning.